Boom. What is up, Adam?
What's up, man? How you doing? How's your
I'm good.
internet?
My internet is good. Adam knows I was staying at a place that had such bad internet. And when I inquired why, the homeowner told me, "Yeah, I've gotten that complaint a lot." She's like, "It's the same internet they use on airplanes." So they like so imagine that's your
What?
only internet. Whenever yeah, she's like, because we're so high up in the mountains, we just use the same satellite internet that airplanes
Did
use. So I thought it
did
was
you have to
good.
like did you have to like log on to like Go
Go,
Wireless?
yeah. I
Or like
essentially was on GoGo. I was on Boingo, getting online. So imagine your house having as fast of speeds as a plane. It was awful. It was
It's
awful.
not like your business relies on it.
And by the way, not even the business. My kids have to go to school, right? I
Oh
have to get
yeah.
them in class. Like, and yeah. So we were in we were in dire straits. And I'll tell you the worst part about it is when my kids got up at 6:40 in the morning and
Mm.
they're like, let's watch TV, and then they have to like watch real TV. They couldn't just put on like Netflix like what they're used to because there was no internet to support that kind of a speed.
Explaining a commercial is bonker. Explaining like what it is or why it has to happen. Like it's so crazy. Like you have to be like, well, that this is a break between the show. Why? Well, because they have to. They're showing you things you could buy. Why? Well, because that's the oh, the show's back on. This show's back on.
And by the way, they don't
Like
even want to watch that show. They're not into that show. They're angry that you forced them to watch a show that they did not pick. I mean, right now, my family is into this show called Pup Academy, which is made by Air Bud Studios, which is Air Bud, successful movies. They've made Space Buddies. They've made a lot of dog movies. And now they have a full on TV show called Pup Academy, which stars the majority of the cast of Christopher Guest movies. And they're
really?
all they equip themselves very well in it. They're all good, but they're acting with animals that have like clutch cargo mouths superimposed on them, so they all talk. It's it's a wild
It's.
show.
I mean, working with dogs. Have you ever done a dog movie?
No, oh no, I
Because
worked with
I've
the
done a
dog once. Yes, you did a full dog movie. Yeah.
I did a full dog movie. I've worked with my share of dogs, and working with dogs in a dog movie is crazy because you become not co-stars with a dog, but you become co-stars with the dog's trainer essentially,
Yes.
because you are acting your scene, and then in the middle of the scene, you have to be able to ignore like a most of the time like a 200-pound person with no teeth who is like Rex, Rex, no,
Ah!
Rex, no, and you're like,
There is no regularity in those scenes. You're just getting someone yelling off camera. I used to do this thing. I did this thing where on the league we had to use a snake in one scene, and we had a snake handler, and like the directors Jeff and Jackie were like, so we're gonna have the snake come in and do this and that, and I look at them and go, "What are you telling this person how to direct a snake? It's a snake. It's not gonna like take direction." And the person's like, "Oh no, this snake will do whatever you want it to do." It didn't. It's a
of course
snake.
not.
It's not gonna do it. It's not gonna hit its mark. It's gonna snake.
The animal does not know it's in a movie. The
No.
animal, the animal does not know, and the trainer is still under the illusion that that animal is some kind of special creature. It's not. It's just it's an animal like
I
all
love
the other
animals.
animals.
I love animals, but I always say this: most of the Hollywood pet trainers or whatever they want to call themselves, they're not like trainers. They're just pet owners. They happen to own
Yes,
seven
they
bunnies.
live in Southern California.
Yes, that's it. They all they can do is show up with the
I mean, I,
animals.
I I am amazed at how many times I have been on a set in like a major movie studio, like not like an independent film. Like
Yeah,
you'll be shooting on the back lot of Paramount, like and big
yeah.
things, and they'll be like, okay, bring in the dog. Okay, we need the dog. All you have to do is just walk over and sit. Dog trainer goes, oh, he can't do that. Like
I
that happens every time,
I
and the director has to go. what do you mean you can't go over and sit? You're like, well, they just said they needed a dog. They didn't say they needed a dog to sit. It's like,
I,
what is this
I
business?
whenever I directed with animals, I would always be not rude to the trainer, but I would say, look, the chances of the animal doing this on the day are minimal.
Slim to
So
none.
I was like, let's just talk about the bare minimum. What can you guarantee? Can the dog sit? And he's like, oh, absolutely. I was like, great. That's what we're going to start with. I was like, I'm not going to worry about anything else because they'll also charge you like 3 extra days. Like, well, I'll charge you 3
Oh
days
yeah.
to train the dog how to push a deck of cards across the table. It's like, and then they get there and then the dog doesn't do it. And there's no penalty. You don't get that money back. So I'm like, don't train
No,
him, just make him sit in the chair and I'll get like a puppet paw and just run it across.
it truly is one of the hardest things. Like, I look at those movies, like when you see like Harrison Ford did a movie with like 8 German Shepherds
Yeah.
in Alaska. You're like, that dude earned his money. He did not,
Oh.
like, everyone's like, well, it's a paycheck, whatever. Like, no, that dude was earning his money saying those lines.
Anytime you see it, like you're like, my heart breaks because the truth is like, it's not like they're bad at their job. It's like, try to get a kid to do anything on set too. Like it's
hard.
An impossibility. It's an impossibility.
It's so hard. Kids, at least though, like kids, there's like at least a verbal kind of like there's a recognition. Like my first job was with a cat. It was a Staples commercial. And they were like, the cat is gonna hit the easy button,
Okay. Yeah.
And
sure.
I was like, well, I was like 21, and I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. So I'm just like an intern. It's like doing thing. And then they're like, okay, so the cat's going to walk up on you. The commercial's in a one shot. Like, okay, great. For 14 hours, they could not get the cat to hit the button. They were putting the laser on it. The cat was like looking at the lights. They were putting for 14 hours. And then finally they brought in a fake paw and did a second shot. And it was like that 14 hours. And my first job. I was like, I guess this is just how it is. Like,
never. No, it is. It's the worst. It's the worst. And then animals that get upset. There's so much, but we don't need to get into animal stories because we have
that's our new podcast.
Work. Just bitching about animals, working with animals. Do you have any trainers, Pally?
I did have pets. I don't right now. We live on the 19th floor in New York, and when my dog passed away a couple of years ago, we were like made a conscious decision to hold off because in LA it was easy to have our dog, but in New York it became a challenge. Like getting a dog down 19 flights of stairs, 19 flights, not stairs. We take the elevator, obviously, but it has to go, and you're like, okay, and then you're waiting. It's just kind of a mess.
It's a lot. I mean, I do a lot of the nighttime shift with my dog, which is like, I do the last walk and all that sort of stuff. And to think about going to an elevator, getting I can really just wear whatever I'm wearing in the house, walk outside real quick, know he's going to pee. And I'm like, the whole process takes about, 45 seconds, like from the leash going on.
I miss that. Yeah. I miss that because that's good dad alone time. Like doing the last walk is kind of king of the castle shit. You know what I mean? Like you like, all right, everybody, you're safe in the house. I'm going to go walk our guard around the perimeter. It's like
the walk is the best because you're doing something, so you can't be yelled at. And at the same time, you're also getting alone time. It's the best in the world. Yeah.
Oh, totally great. I so many times though, I remember like not bring a bag and having to like come back, drop the dog, and then go back out with my phone and a bag. And that is a terrible feeling.
To go back and get it, that's the worst. And God bless you for actually doing that. And I go out there with a bag all the time. But now what we do, June very smartly has tied like an emergency bag around the leash. So if you ever get caught, it's always on the leash. It's the best. It was the best thing that she's ever done.
I picked up so many dog shits with like old diapers or like, I mean, just like a terrible tale. But anyway, that's not why we're here either.
No. We are here once again to help you punch up your Twitter, to take your Twitter to the next level. We are essentially a writer's room. We're running the writer's room. In the chat, you're helping the writer's room. And on Discord, people have submitted tweet drafts that they have not actually published, thoughts that they think are good, but they know it's not quite cutting the mustard. They don't want it out in the real world just yet. But before we even get into those, because we have a ton of great ones from our Discord right now, I'm going to say that I thought, sent out a tweet that really kind of hit like a nice viral moment here this week.
I did. Yeah. I had a bit of a viral moment this week as I get my drink for the week, which is also, I tweeted about this. This is yesterday I tweeted that I took my heartburn medication in the parking lot while I waited for my son who was playing football, and I took it with rainwater tequila, and I was being honest. I did buy a bottle of tequila. There's this cool liquor store that I've talked about on this show by the football field, and I walked in while I was waiting, and the guy like talked me into this rainwater tequila. It's like tequila made with rainwater. It's okay. I mean, it's tequila, you know. Like I definitely don't taste the rainwater. But
yeah, I don't know if it's making it any better. I've been drinking, maybe I've been brainwashed, but I've been drinking a lot of the Rocks tequila.
Is it good? I can't get it.
It's very good. What's really great about it is he priced it under Clooney's tequila. Like,
smart.
So like Clooney's, like the Casamigos is like $44, and he's giving you the same amount for like $22. And I think, honestly, if I'm picking between the two, I'm going that way. But my real tequila that I always go to is this thing called Casa Azul, which is this cool white bottle. Yeah, and it has like a little bell on the top. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we used to Daniel used to put flowers in it because there were so many empties around our house.
Yeah,
and it's a nice vase.
It does. They advertise it as part vase. But here's the tweet that you had that I thought was great. Here, I'm going to put us both up here. There it goes. All right. So it was Bruce Willis was in a convenience store and wasn't wearing a mask, and you wrote "Die Easy." And
I felt bad about. I will say, like, I had an embarrassment moment after I sent it out, right? Because it's so easy.
Yeah, right? But I think that sometimes you want to hit that nice, like it's a center fastball. You just knocked it out. Like, I feel like that's what we want.
Yeah, no, totally.
Yeah.
But you responded, and I think yours was actually like, because and then I responded down it, like yours was breathe hard, and I feel like that was even more like, yes, that's like now playing the game, and a lot of people had better ones than I did.
Yeah, there was like a good day to buy masks, and then I like this one that Eric Hardwood wrote, which is like, now I have an acute respiratory disease, ho ho ho.
Like, yeah, that one was great. I even liked my own response to this one, which I don't know if you can bring up, which was...
I don't... Yeah, tell me what it was.
Come out to the coast, have a few gasps.
That was great.
I think is like, that's the one. I almost was like, I should have waited. Because like Die Easy literally was like, you know, I bet everybody had that joke. Like, I think that if anything, I got it out quick.
That's the trick.
You know,
if you're the first one to the party, it doesn't make a difference. Like, I feel like that's where we're benefiting there. I feel like, because I saw that picture and my first thought was, this poor man. I feel like Bruce Willis is on. I feel like he's not well. He's not well. He's not well.
No. I've worked with him.
Okay. Yes.
So like I had no problem sending that tweet.
I had,
you know what I mean? Like I was like, send.
Yeah. He is getting worse, and the look on his face in that store made me feel like he wandered into the right. Like there's a lot of things going on here.
The leather jacket is so offensive to me that he is wearing. It's one of those leather jackets that they give you when you like make your first, like when Liam Neeson made his first movie that wasn't taken, but it was like almost taken. Right, they're like, congratulations, you can now wear this leather jacket. It's like there's that cool leather jacket. Yeah, it's like it is the leather jacket of a 65-year-old movie star who's hanging on. You know,
leather jackets are tough to pull off. I like the idea of a leather jacket, and I wore it once, and then I just felt like, you know what, I can't. It's a tough look. It's a tough look.
See, I like
Yeah.
I do wear a leather jacket. I
Okay.
wear a specific kind of leather jacket when I venture into that lane, which
Okay.
is
What is it?
a biker jacket, which has it's like your
Okay.
standard greaser leather jacket, right? It's got like a zipper and a
Buckles and yeah.
lapel, like a lapel. The leather jacket that Bruce Willis is wearing in this is what you get after your second divorce. Like it is,
I mean, the
it is a
whole look.
divorced person's jacket.
He's also wearing the scarf, which we know now very well is not doing anything to prevent you from getting COVID. That's not part of
It's like
it.
an Afghan. It looks like an Afghan. Oh, hey,
Yeah, he's like
Georgia.
he's tied it up. Hey, what's going on, Georgia? There she is.
Oh,
Um,
Georgia brought me truffle cheese.
oh, look at that! Look at those. Your kids are bringing you
Thanks,
food.
babe.
My kid,
Aw,
oh,
you
look
want
at
some cheese?
that.
She really wanted the cheese for herself. Okay.
All right. So I figured this is good. I didn't know if we had our own tweets. I was going to show you one thing. I know that there's been so much going on in society this week, but like this is where I've been. Obviously we had the coup and we had all this sort of stuff, and I just was in the middle of responding to Marco Rubio, and I just stopped midway and I saved it as a draft. Like, and it was like, people are being tired of staying home and can't work. And, like basically just a whole thing about COVID. And I just said, you'll never be dynamic enough to be. And I was like, forget it. Like, I
But
just
this
was
is
going to be
good.
like, yeah.
No, but I like working on tweets like these because these are the tweets that generally that you like. We've all tweeted these things, right? Like the world is such a
Right.
mess. You're so frustrated, and you tweet out like "fuck you" or whatever to whatever
Right.
politician says something, and you're like, I know they're not going to see this. Like, I know they're not. Like Marco Rubio's not going to look at your tweet. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
you want it. You want it to hit in a way that's like maybe if I do it so right, it'll gain enough steam that he will see it. You know what I
Or
mean?
his
Like that's
followers see it like it's a little bit of a burn. By the way, I got burned
yeah.
by Nick Wright, that dude on ESPN, because
You did?
oh yeah. First of all, like,
Let me
and
take a bite
again,
of my cheese. What?
so okay. So Nick Wright he's on ESPN as like a sports analyst. And I would really say he's a LeBron analyst. And then I'll go one step further and say he's a Laker propagandist. And Lakers are amazing.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
they're awesome. So,
Already,
but when
he knows you're a
everything
Clipper
is through
fan.
the
There's
lens. Right. So he made this tweet that was just dumb about like the Clippers. And it was just a dumb tweet. And I just kind of responded to his tweet, but I responded to it. I didn't like retweet his dumb tweet and then comment on top of it, which I thought was a more respectful way of doing it. I was like, you're stupid, and here it is. I've also gotten into this with Kendrick Perkins. That was another issue. I should bring all these tweets in. But
your sports Twitter is on fireball.
So he flipped me and like retweeted my tweet to essentially Laker Nation, and like sicked all the Laker fans on me. And I felt like that was not, yeah, I was like, that sucks. I was like, you know what? We could keep it here. So now I have to back pocket a moment when I can get Nick Wright where I need him. I don't know what it is.
I would love to help you with that. I would love to help you with that. I mean, that brings up a good point, which is that Twitter is for real. Like,
yeah.
I, a couple of years ago, tweeted out just innocently when Puff Daddy was thinking about getting a group together to buy the Knicks. And I tweeted out, please, please buy the Knicks. Right. And I just thought it was like an innocuous, thing. But the Knicks and their brass follow you if you are someone who takes their celebrity tickets.
Yeah.
And they saw that. And they revoked my tickets. And I had to go for like a year and then write a letter to Dolan and the brass that's like, I will not do that again. I'm sorry. And like, part of me wanted to, like, my normal instinct would be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go harder. But the truth is, I'm a little bit held hostage. Like, that's the team I like. You know what I mean? Like,
but by the way, Dolan is tough. I mean, Dolan is hard. Like, Dolan will ban you for many a reason. It is
Jimmy Fallon. Jimmy Fallon is still banned, and he's the host of the Tonight Show. You know what I mean? Like, they won't let similar thing. Like, you know what I mean? Ethan Hawke, Matthew Modine. There's like a list that I got of people that are like former Knicks fans that have said something in the press. It's like, I didn't want to be that. Like, I have kids. Like
yeah, you want
the
to go to the
stadium's like,
games and you want to have good seats. Yeah, like I get it. And by the way, it would be great if Dolan made you just go see one of his live shows because Dolan does have a band. I don't want to make you talk about Dolan. I can talk about Dolan.
no. I mean, I would go see JD in the Straight Shots, but I, down at the down at BB King's on 42nd. But no, I really like had a real. I was like very upset about it, because also it was getting tense. Like, friends would be like, "Do you want to go to the game?" And I would be like, "I think I can."
Wow.
Like, I don't know if I can go to the game. I don't be like Charles Oakley, like dragged out of there. So Twitter is real. Like, and I think that people forget that. I know I forget it. Like, you put these jokes out. You better be careful. Like, don't fuck it up.
You got to know where you're going. Like, now, look, I will say this:
Yeah.
I'm a huge Clipper fan, and I tweet a lot about the Clippers, and I love the Clippers, and I'm a season ticket holder there. I've never been offered anything like come sit on the court or anything like that.
Really?
I don't know.
They don't do that?
Clippers even have it. And by the way, I'm like friends with their social media team. I shot the hot dog cannon. I mean, I shot a hot dog cannon at a playoff game. I'm not in, but have never been offered anything like that. I will say though, when they played the Knicks, I was invited as a guest of the Clippers.
That's
not great seats, but it was great. And then I got to go in the locker room, and man, the MSG locker rooms are trash. Like, or at least at least where the Clippers were. Like, I mean, they put them in like, it was like a closet. It was really
MSG. I mean, again, I don't want to talk so much shit about the Knicks, but like part of the problem with the Knicks is that, like, they don't even they don't have a practice facility. They practice at SUNY Purchase, which is not even that's not even like Columbia. That's like the State University of New York in Purchase. The team is like, it's just doesn't have that same flair that it plays in the Madison Square Garden, but it's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
it's not sexy.
I will tell you this much. All I know about the Knicks, and this is the thing that this is the story I'm going to pass on, the rumor I'm going to pass on, is the Nets have great culture, right? Like, regardless of what's happening with the team, and there's so much, and again, we won't get to too much NBA. We'll do that on your show.
I will tell you what, I have one story to tell after this about the Knicks, and then we'll go on.
All right, so the Nets just have great culture. They embrace their fan base. They play cool music. It's like the 76ers, too. You go there, the music is great. The energy is great. It feels like it's supporting a community. The Knicks, I was told at one point, now I'm really going to get myself banned from MSG, but who cares? The Knicks' whole thing was they're like, we have this amazing clientele of like fans, and we should really be embracing like the hip hop community. We should be like just barreling into this. And I heard Dolan say, no, we do not do that. Madison Square Garden is on Broadway. We're a Broadway team. So we are going to embrace Broadway. And that's why when you go to a Knick game, you'll see like a Knick star holding like a skull going, to be or not to be, like those dumb trailers. And the halftime dances are like more like Broadway dances. They're not like Knick City. The Knick City dancers aren't like doing like cool hip hop routines and playing cool music.
I mean, I've said this for years. Like, it's crazy that Dolan still plays Sinatra's New York, New York when the Knicks win, as opposed to Jay-Z and Alicia Keys' New York State of Mind. Like, it is so insane to me. Like, what are we doing? People that like Frank Sinatra are now, after COVID, all dead. Like, why? Why are we doing this?
It's a weird thing.
My quick story about the Garden is, so like after I got my celebrity seats taken away, I still have, my dad always kept our seats from when I was a kid. So I still was going to the games. I just was like putting my hat down and like going and sitting back in like section, 119 or whatever. So I went and I saw a buddy of mine who was on a show with me, who was famous, who was sitting in the front row.
Right, there you go. Right, yeah.
And I was with another friend of mine, who we both know, Gil, and I took Gil's phone and I texted the friend of mine, the actor who was sitting in the front, from a number he didn't know. And I said, I have a gun pointed at your head right now at Madison Square Garden. Do not sit down. If you sit down, I will murder you. And I sent the text. I sent the text during a timeout. So he was standing up, and I could see him, and I watched him. I saw him get the text and look up, and like not no. I'd be like, what? This is crazy, you know? And then at that moment, the buzzer went. It was like time to start the game, and
Oh
everyone at the
no.
front row had to sit down. So I saw him walk back to his seat, and like everybody else is now sitting. The game is going, and he is standing up, like,
oh no. Get out of there. Why would you freeze? Go, just get out.
and then
Holy
finally I see him go like, and he's
shit.
slowly like, that
is
and
amazing.
it was like one of the best best pranks I've ever pulled. And I like that dude. He wasn't happy. Like when I texted him from my phone, he was like not cool. But I think looking back on it,
It's a pretty good prank. I mean, yeah, you can't
pretty
beat that.
funny.
All right.
Anyway, so let's
get into it. Yeah, I got a couple things here, and I'll read them out loud too because it may be small on the big screen. This is from Gobo Rage. I'm going to say it says my work ethic was what brought all the boys to the yard. That's a future Khalees explaining herself to her granddaughter. Okay, so my work ethic was what brought all the boys.
So I think you're at a good starting point right away because I like this joke, right? Like the basic the truth behind this joke is like, look, Khalees is fine, and she definitely like her milkshake is what brought the boys to the yard. But let's not forget, she's a songwriter who worked really hard and had a big hit, and has created a legacy for herself, right? And that's what truly brought all the boys to the yard.
Well, I agree with Wandering Frog here, which is keep the first half, drop the second half. We don't need the explaining herself to her granddaughter. I think you just label it as like not even future it's Khalees, right? So not even future Khalees, you just like, dash Khalees. That's it. Like I think it's sort of like we get he's been explaining this. Yeah.
I mean, I would add and just keep an open mind. I would add an actually in the front.
Ooh,
and cut off the back. And cut off the back.
Yes, actually, my work ethic. That is it. I think that's the version of it there.
I think that's the thing that will help you go viral on that one. It's like, actually, my work ethic is what brought all the boys to the yard. Khalees. I think that will do well. But really good start, and big fan of that tweet. I hope it does well.
That's a good way to start us off here. I'll bring up the next one that we got here. We got a lot. People really just popping in the Discord. We've been keeping it open, so we now have so much more to choose from. So this one, again, looking a little small, but I'll read it. The best part about interactive entertainment is the typing. Everything else seems even more fun by comparison. So the best part about interactive entertainment is the typing. Everything else just seems more fun by comparison.
Well, I like this tweet too. I mean, like, this is really cool because it's like it's one of those tweets that I think happens. Everybody who tweets out, who has a Twitter account, sends out at least one tweet every 6 months. That's like, what am I doing here?
Right. Why am I here
on this app? Which I love. I love it when I see people have that realization. So
yeah.
I think that's what's going on here. I think the back half, I think that it's similar. Like you could cut the back half. The best part about interactive entertainment is the typing. I think you might want to.
Am I not getting it? Like why? Like when I read that, I go, huh?
Because
like what do they mean?
Because I think what they're saying is like entertain. Like they're saying like usual entertainment. You don't have to work so hard and type. You know what I mean?
Okay,
like it's
right.
like, so I think that what's missing is something along the lines of like the most relaxing form of entertainment definitely has to be interactive because of all the typing. Right?
Got it. Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or like because of all the work I have to do.
Right.
While I'm enjoying it.
It's interactive entertainment. I mean, there's a few people in the chat are like, I don't get it. People are seeing it. I think what you're saying, I think we need to like clean it up, like maybe constant in front of typing.
Constant.
Like,
Yep. I like
yeah, the
Wandering
best.
Frog.
Yeah, I like that. So like the best part of interactive entertainment is the constant typing.
I mean,
That kind
another
of
way
I
to do it.
understand that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another way to do it would be the best part about interactive entertainment is the added responsibility. Of like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I guess maybe like my head is in a different is like in a place of that. I think what they're trying to say instead of best, like best is too vague for a joke.
Right. Yeah. 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 I
If
think you're right.
you switch out best for a specific word, the opposite will get you the laugh.
I also think interactive entertainment is tripping me up. Like people are saying,
Mhm.
like, people are saying like the best part of like, yeah, Twitch. I don't know, like interactive, like Twitch, but I think there needs to be something that calls to mind because interactive entertainment. I'm thinking like, is he talking about VR? Is he talking about like there's a
Yeah,
yeah, maybe. Oh, this is a good version of it. The best part of pandemic entertainment is the
just all the
constant type.
typing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
typing. I mean, it's tricky because I know what they're saying. It's like, okay, we're watching a lot of stuff with YouTube lives and people are there and there's a lot more
yeah.
it's
I mean,
tricky.
maybe it's
It's a
something like maybe it's like the way, like, how do I relax during the pandemic? I slip off my shoes, I set a warm bath, and then I start interacting with people on Twitch. Like
right.
maybe it's something like that. It's like,
It's a very
you
Twitch
know,
centric joke. Like it's so real.
yeah,
Yeah. Like
it's
I
tough.
never
But
thought, yeah.
I think there's something there, maybe give it a month and see if Twitch blows up even bigger. See if you can give it a month, see if the tech it's like
This
that
this
James
is this is something interesting. The best part of pandemic sex is all the typing.
Wandering
I
Frog
like
is on
that.
fire tonight. I
Yeah,
like that a
Wandering Frog
lot.
really
I like
bringing the
that a
heat.
lot. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that a lot. I think
Uh,
that would be the way to go.
yeah, that is the way to go. Wandering Frog helping us out. All right, so here's the next one I got here. This one is from Master Twig. I've seen giraffes in person. I've touched them. I've fed them. I'm still not convinced they're real. I don't mind this.
It's just fine the
But
way it is. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't expect the numbers to tick off the
no,
charts for it. I mean, because it's basic giraffe humor,
right.
which is like, you know, I don't know. I mean, I think it needs a B side if you're really going to hit it.
There
Uh,
needs to be something else. Yeah.
yeah, because like everyone knows giraffes are real. Like maybe why, like the why of a giraffe is always interesting to me. I never questioned that
Okay.
they're real. I was just always like,
Right.
why? Like, why do we need a big horse?
Well, that to
Like,
me, all right. So talking about this, the house that we were staying at when we were on vacation, we brought our dog, Sergeant Meatball, and
mm,
he saw horses for the first time. And his reaction to horses felt to me like he just saw giant dogs
yeah,
and was like, holy shit. It's kind of the same way that I felt when I met JJ Watt. Not only is he like 10 years younger than 20 years younger than me, but he is like just it's as if you like did the font size up to 125. He's just like way bigger. It's like, whoa, I didn't understand this, and now I'm intimidated by it.
yeah.
But I felt like that
So
like
maybe
he
it's
saw.
maybe it's something like that, or it's like if a dog thinks a horse is a dog, imagine what it thinks when it sees a giraffe.
Hey, I'll buy that. Or this one, I like this version of it. I've seen giraffes in person. I've touched them. I've fed them, but I'll never vote for a giraffe.
I like that a lot.
I like
That's
that
great. I think that's great. That's great.
at the
That's
show.
really
That's
good.
a good one because I feel like that is that, that is good.
That's great.
Here's another one that's a little bit in the topical thing. I'd believe Army Hammer was a cannibal before I believe that giraffes are real. Again, we're getting that giraffes are real. It's
I don't
okay,
think we
sure,
need to be.
yeah,
There's something funnier about giraffes than them being mythical. They're
yeah,
inherently funny in what they are. You don't need to make them a
yeah.
unicorn. They're funny.
That
They're a funny creature.
they're there. I like it. All right, so
Yeah,
again, this is a good one too. I've seen giraffes in person. I've touched them. I've fed them, and you,
this is
sir,
great.
are no giraffe. And
Giraffe.
maybe you quote that as like John F. Kennedy, or like whoever, like
Or like,
whatever
or it's just
the.
like dot 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 a horse.
Yep, that's it. That is it. Oh, that is great. All
That
right.
one's good. All right, so I have
Master.
one.
Yeah, you
I
got one.
have
Yeah,
one
what do
that
you got?
I'd like to
Please.
that I'd like to throw. I have two that I'd like to throw out. Um,
Mhm.
so this one I didn't throw it out because like I don't want. I guess I don't know if there is going to be fallout from it, you know.
Okay.
And I certainly we know where that's gone for us on this show.
Yeah.
But would it make sense to tweet out big news? I'm the new Mrs. Maisel. Don't ask me how this is going to work.
Okay. I like it. I like it, but
But should I let
I
it
think
go? Should I let it go?
I think there's too much. There's too because there's no Miss Maisel controversy. Like I feel like if it was there, but how about this?
Okay.
Is there a version of it where you can say like I'm the is there a Mr. Maisel? No, there I guess there is a Mr. Maisel. Like if there is a Mr. Maisel, maybe I'm the new Mr. Maisel. Or is there like a spin-off? You can say like, hey, good news. I don't know. I do like what you said. People are cheering it. People are liking
People
it.
like it. People like it.
Yeah.
Cheer, cheer, cheer. All
But
right, so I think I gotta let it go. I'm gonna
I
fly it
mean,
out there and see how we do.
okay, great. Don't ask me how this will work. Yeah.
All right, here it goes.
I'm always a big fan of putting breaking before any of that sort of stuff. But uh but
What did that person? What who just wrote that? The whole premise is flawed. I mean, it is a
yeah,
flawed premise joke. I mean, it came out of people don't. Mrs. Maisel is not. There's some plus and minus on this Maisel going around. You know what I mean? It's not all
right.
glowing reviews.
No,
And
it is the thing, yeah.
especially from comedians, I think people are like, all of a sudden Mrs. Maisel is a comedian. That seems
Yeah, Mrs. May. I mean,
abrupt.
I don't know enough about Mrs. And that's where my deficit is. I've never seen a Mrs.
Yeah.
Maisel. I know that Mrs. Maisel wins awards or Miss Maisel. Like
Yeah, I
I
think the
guess
general feeling is like, she's not, it's a show about comedy, but it's not maybe done by a comedian. And so
how
I
about
was
this?
hearing a lot of, I was the
I was
original
the
Mrs.
original.
Maisel. Mrs. Maisel is based on me. Everybody calm down.
Yeah, like I will watch Mrs. Maisel. I think you should tweet it because I think it's always
All right. It's out. We'll see
you
how
know
it does. All right,
yeah.
let's go back. Who else has one?
All right, we got some others. A lot of people are having a lot of strong thoughts about Miss Maisel. Okay, here we go. What
Uh-oh.
else I got?
See,
Okay,
Miss Maisel's a lightning rod.
it really is. All right, this one is a
Yeah.
simple one that I don't get. I'm going to bring this up. I'm not getting a few of them today. Maybe I'm just like overextended. It says one of the biggest numbers would have to be 62,000.
See, this
Actually,
to me
now
is
I
a
say it out
perfect
loud.
tweet. This is just
That's a
something you
great
throw.
tweet.
This is like perfect. Put that on a t-shirt. Like
Yes.
this is perfect. This is put it in the rafters.
Yep. People are
Throw that out
saying made
there.
me LOL. Tweet it.
Yeah,
This is good.
this is great.
That's great.
AJ.
That's spot on. I would wonder if you would follow this up with a tweet maybe in an hour. Hold on. Just realized 62,001. Or I don't know. Do you go
Yeah.
like do
Well, see, like
do
I
you
think I
follow it
would
up?
let it go for like
Yeah.
15 minutes, and then underneath it, like in a thread,
Yeah.
write like also 52,000.
Yeah. There you go. That you need, I think you need that follow up 15 minutes later.
Yeah,
People are
but
saying
that's a
it's
great one.
a premise from a Mr. Show sketch, but I don't know that one. So if
I
people
mean,
are saying Mr. Show,
that is totally possible.
yeah, we don't know. We're
Like,
not judging. Like you put it up there, we can't tell you if you're a thief or not. Like we just have to
yeah,
say
like
we're
don't
just
look at
judging
me
it.
to know the library of comedy.
I remember one time we asked Bob to do a human. We were so nervous about stealing anything on Human Giant that we called up Bob Odenkirk to be like, would you feel like we were treading on your territory if we did this sketch? I don't even remember what it was. And Bob was like, no, who cares? Just do it. And, but we
What
were so like, we have to, yeah, like, yeah, why? All right. So here we go. This one is Daganima writes, referring to Congress. They are a group of men, of course. They will pretend to listen to your needs and get themselves off instead. All right, so this just needs a little bit, I think, of finessing.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I think it's missing like a one-to-one of like just like men and sex, or you know what I mean? Like, of course, Congress
is always going to
is
fuck
not
you over,
is always gonna
or
fuck you up. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think this is ready to go. It just needs a bit of like a
yeah, people are
wording
saying smooth
one.
it out because it's a funny idea, like uh, the idea that like this is why it would go this way, and I think people say why is it gender specific? I think it has to be gender specific because the joke is that the men in Congress are taking care of their own needs for, and I guess in a well now it's been a little bit more, it's been different. I don't know. It's a tricky one. I
Why?
think you
Yeah,
can get it.
the gender of it is interesting too. I think, this is an interesting thing because like I understand what they're saying about the joke,
Yeah.
but the truth of it, because Congress is not all men,
Yeah.
the truth of it
Yeah.
is hurting the joke. So it might need like it might not sound as cool or slick, but like it might need saying just what I said, like because Congress is mostly men.
Right.
You
So
know
you
what I
end
mean?
on men, right? Because it's like like when we wonder why.
Yeah, when we
Yeah, I
wonder
get
why
what,
Congress does this, this, and this, well, they're mostly men. It
right.
might
Like I
need
kind of feel
to.
like, yeah, like right now with the impeachment, I feel like there's like, hey, when you wonder why Trump isn't impeached, you got to remember blah 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 blah. Like it needs that kind of a thing. Oh, and this is actually a great thing. Replace men with shitty lovers. Well, it's tricky. It's like, oh, you might be a congressman, or how about this? Maybe it's a joke about like it starts off like a relationship, and you think, oh, this is a joke about being a shitty partner in a relationship, and
I'm
then it's
dating a
like
congressman.
I'm dating a congressman, yeah, like or like yeah,
Yeah.
like um, yeah, hmm, yeah. This is a tricky one. This is Congress is known for getting themselves off first. The idea is like right. It just feels like it's not really. Again, it's like you got to really make a big swing.
Look, Congress jokes right now are tough anyway.
Yeah,
Because just to give you total like to the writer fair warning, like y- it might be along the lines of something that put it in your bag. You know what I mean?
hold
Like, don't
on
go
to it.
after
There are
hold
easier
on to it.
times.
Yeah, don't go. And maybe if you really need that punchline of like men are like this, don't go after Congress. Go after other men. You know what I mean? Like go after like
Yeah.
an industry that is severely, you know what I mean? Like especially now with Congress, it's very visibly mixed and whatever. Like I would avoid that.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not a clean enough point of view. I think you need like it, or this is a quote that you put under like when sometimes when you'd see like a picture of Donald Trump with his cabinet, it's all white men. And then you could kind of like you need almost like
That's
a
not bad.
visual representation of something like here's all white men and here's my joke about what they're gonna get, how they're yeah. I mean, here's one joke here. It says Congress out here acting like stepdads, fucking your mom and giving you a few bucks to survive.
Like that's the best version of it to me. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that, and that is similar. That is similar because we were saying before, like go at the men like first, right? So that's what he does.
Yeah.
Congress acting like your stepdad. So I think
Right. I like
you're
that.
gonna have to you set it up first. I have another
Yeah.
one that I would like to run
Yeah.
out
Let's see what you got. Yeah. Let's see what you
here
got.
for the crowd just to help me out here. So again, I've been on. I'm trying to have an economy of words when I
That's a
write. I'm
tricky.
looking for
Yeah.
the smallest amount of words. So this tweet is food was a little bland, quote unquote.
Mhm.
Food critic, COVID times.
Oh, he writes for COVID times.
Yes.
Okay. I like this a lot, and now I've all put it together. I think this is really great. Like, I think you just have to say. I don't think. I
COVID
think you have like.
Gazette. COVID
I,
Gazette.
I, COVID Gazette is great. I think that helps it because COVID times make you think about the times we're living in. But I think you have to
Yes.
say, this food has no flavor.
This food has no
COVID,
flavor.
yeah, because I think the idea is like we lose flavor. It's not even that it's bland.
Okay. Okay.
This food
This
has no
food.
flavor. Yeah,
Oh, okay, great.
yeah.
Great. Now,
A review from the COVID Gazette food critic. Like I've almost like I feel like it needs to be like that.
I think this will work. This food has no flavor. Food critic, COVID Gazette.
Yeah, I like that. I think that
Okay.
yeah. People
Okay.
like COVID Daily. People are liking this. This is great.
COVID Daily is
Perfection.
not bad. All right. I'm going to throw it out.
Flavorless is more economical, but I feel like Yeah, flavorless is good too.
Would
I mean,
that's a good too, but would I guess it goes back to, and this is where the tweet could be better on my this food lacks flavor. That may be the one.
yeah,
You know what?
yeah.
I'm going
This
to
food
rewrite
like
to that
yeah,
because
yeah.
you
I
know
like
why?
that.
Because that is how a food critic would talk. You know, like
Yes, this food
that's the way
like.
you take your that's how you take your tweet up a notch. You
I
do
like
it.
this. This is
Everything
really
has
good.
to. Yeah. All right. Good. I'm putting it out there. We'll see how it goes.
This food
Now,
lacks
keep in
flavor.
mind,
Okay.
I've already thrown out that Mrs. Maisel tweet, which could have garnered me a lot of unfollows.
Uh,
So we'll see.
can I show you this one that came in? The
Yeah.
food was flavorless. The service breathtaking. COVID Gazette.
See, that's even better. I'm not gonna
Like
tweet that.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah,
let
yeah,
Jackson Moon please tweet that out, and I will retweet it. That is better.
yeah.
That is a great. That is a
Yeah,
perfect,
that's a nice.
perfect joke.
All right, so let's go here and keeping on the coronavirus tip, I want to this is like 4 tweets in one here, but I'm going to read the one that I think works the best for our thing. It says, this is from Slumped, coronavirus. Oh wait, hold on. Coronavirus, more like come on over to us and try a triple stack bacon burger. #ad. That's one joke. I mean, I like the idea of like trying to like. I feel like commercials trying to embrace coronavirus. That one's a little bit like fine, but this is the one I actually remember liking.
I mean, if you put a picture of the Carl's Jr. guy on that, I think you'd be okay.
I like that, the COVID special. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like if you graphicked it up, I think it'd be good. Jack in the Box.
Mm-hmm.
This one where there's something about the MTV Next bus pulling up to Heaven's Gate and God takes them on dates. I like this as a premise. But it's also calling back a show that I think has been off the air for a very long time.
I'm having trouble placing it.
All right, so there was a show called Next, and it was a bus full of guys or girls, depending on who it was, and there was like a suitor that they would be trying to woo, and the suitor has a button, and at any point can hit the button like that cat that you worked with in Staples, and say next. And then that person goes back to the bus.
It's like
and a new
dating.
Comes off. Speed dating, yeah.
See, that came after MTV had a show. I think after MTV had a show that was similar, where you would go on a date with someone who wasn't your significant other. And at the end of the show, and then you go on a date with your real significant other. And at the end of the episode, you could decide to leave your significant other for the person MTV brought to you.
I don't know if these ever came to fruition, but one time we were roaming around the MTV offices late at night when we were doing Human Giant, and I stumbled onto a stack of show ideas. And these are shows that were like, I don't remember exactly how we saw them, but it was sort of like, these are the shows that we're in development on. And the 2 shows that I remember so clearly was this. Dude, Your Sister is Hot. And it was best friends telling their friend that they were in love with their sister. And it was a reality show. And that one felt to me like what kind of controversy would you get? And then the other one, and this might have happened, MTV would pay for you and your current partner to go on a date. But unbeknownst to you, not a date, like a weekend away, like a really nice vacation away. But for MTV, probably like at a La Quinta. But while you were there, like you're in the hot tub with your partner, you're having a nice time, and then all of a sudden, who's coming walking to the hot tub? Your ex, and the hot tub gets into the ex, and to the hot tub, the ex gets into the hot tub.
And then you have to spend time with your ex on the trip. I remember.
Right, your
I think
ex
that
is
show
like
was
the
real.
third. That definitely came out.
Real.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
That people say that's
God.
real. Yeah. That one always seemed like, whoa. And then at the end of the episode, you decided, do you want to stick with who you got, or do you want to go back in time to who you had?
That's like heartbreaking. Like, can you imagine like if one of the ones is like this guy comes back who like really broke your heart, you know what I mean? And it's like,
yeah,
I can't make this decision now. I thought you were dead.
I would love that show where a fake death show would be amazing. Like you fake your death, and the show you follow your family grieving to see would they grieve. Yeah, and a year later you come out, and I told you, okay, this is the show I will never be able to make because it doesn't make a difference anymore. There was a show back in the day. It was a great show called like facelift or makeover. So they would take somebody and they would give them a lot of plastic surgery and then reintroduce them to the family. So the family would be like waiting for this person to come back in to their lives. And it was like a Fox show. The Swan. Yes, The Swan. Thank you. And so I always wanted to make a show where that was the premise. And then what you do is you take that person out and you just replace them with a new person. And then the person who was supposedly getting the plastic surgery just gets to watch, and you get to watch how they interact with somebody that they think is you. So it's like
Oh
a
my
real
God.
like, and
That
then
would kill me. That would slay me. Like just seeing like that would be so psychologically damaging. Seeing what made your friends eye roll at your behavior. Like, can you imagine
yes,
watching like
yes,
being in a watching footage of what you think is you and your buddy in a car, and you're like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna go pick this thing up. You want
you'd be like,
anything? And your buddy's like, oh yeah, well, it's okay. Then you see that and you're like, do I not pick something up for him when I like that would
yeah.
destroy me. I would be destroyed. I wouldn't be able to get out of
People,
bed.
as people said, these are human zoo shows. They are.
Yeah.
MTV's "Fake My Funeral," which was great. Yeah, no, it would gut you. You would never be able to come back.
No.
All right, so here is another tweet that we have here, which I'll show you. This one is making
And then I
people
think,
race. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Go ahead.
after this, when we end, I think we should end on
Yeah,
an Army Hammer if you have
yeah.
one,
Oh,
because I'm sure
yeah.
that I've
Okay.
been sent a lot of them. And let's try to get the
Yeah.
best Army Hammer that we
All
can
right,
for
let's try to
everybody.
do the best army. I think we
Yeah.
should all brainstorm our own. Oh, yeah, that's great. This is making people race for cures seems pretty cruel. Simple.
I like this. Yeah, it's simple.
Yeah.
I had a tweet like this that's still in my draft. So if I do tweet it out eventually, you guys will know that it's been in there for a while. But I have a tweet like this in my draft somewhere that's along the lines of always jealous of people who commit suicide. They never seem like they have writer's block. And I feel like it's
That's a great one.
I feel like it's in this vein, right? Like you want like that's what we're going for here. So
Yeah.
I would argue like let's be specific. This is where I might throw some people off, but like let's find a real name of a run for the cure for a specific disease.
Right. Maybe
And
around that
then
weekend. Yeah.
yeah, and
Like
then
how about like I raced for the cure. Unfortunately, I didn't come in time. Sorry. Now you'll have to die. Like, or some
yeah,
version of that. Like,
yeah.
I
Or like
apologize that I wasn't. Yeah.
yeah, like or I raced to raise money for cancer victims and beat them all very easily.
Right. So there, that like nice. I like that.
Something like
these
that.
are, yeah. How about like this? It's just called. How about this one? I came in last and died of AIDS. That says. Let's see. Okay. Well, any other good ones in here? Oh, how about this? Pick a disease or that blame the victim or one that only affects innocent children. I think the issue with this is you're going to upset somebody. The more specific you go, someone's going to come out and say, this is not funny and it's not good. I mean, this is terrible. Not terrible, but March of Dimes, more like Walk of Pennies.
I love it. I'm up for it. I mean, I think it's funny. I think like the more you like that to me is why you want to do something, or it's like, ran to raise money for, like played in a charity basketball league to raise money for the Special Olympics. Like, shouldn't it be the other way around? That's terrible. I don't know.
I want to. We were talking about the Army Hammer, and I think maybe this is the way that we should end the show here. We talk a little bit about Army Hammer, and a lot of people are already talking about Dionne Warwick's tweet about Army Hammer, and I'm going to try to find it right here. Okay. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to like.
Now, Dionne Warwick is in an interesting place, right? She's
Yeah.
created, as we were talking a couple weeks ago about a pandemic persona. Her pandemic persona and Twitter account are so great right now. She could tweet anything, and she's going to get. I mean, they're going to do a sketch about her. Like she's in the perfect place. She set herself up perfectly. I think it has to do with the fact that she's her psychic powers.
Yeah, I mean, she can see the future, so she can see what tweets work and what tweets don't.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out is her like hold on, I want to try to figure out if I'm reading the right one, because I only see one here that I think is this the one that people are talking about. Let me I'm gonna just open it up. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen here. Hold it, here we go. Is it this one? It says, what's your biggest regret? And she says, opening that Army Hammer trending subject. Is that the Army Hammer tweet that we're talking about? I don't know.
First of all, I am impressed with Dionne Warwick's internet capability. I
Do you
mean,
think that she is doing them all? Like, do you think it's her voice, like, or do you think she's got a social media team?
no, I think it's her. I think it's her.
Okay,
It's not hard to tweet. You
right,
can teach anybody of it. Like Donald Trump is tweeting. He understands it.
right. Okay,
Like so
so
it's
yeah,
not hard to grasp that. My what's flooring me is that she would understand like opening a thing. Like my dad is younger than Dionne Warwick, and he doesn't know what the hell's going on.
yeah.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
all right.
Like he wouldn't
Yeah,
know how
so
to open a tab.
so getting in there. Okay, so yeah, all right. So like she's in there, and people say that that's an actually. Uh, okay, I'm trying to see. There's a few Army Hammer tweets in here. I want to find them with people.
She's been tweeting about Army Hammer.
She has. I mean, here's another one here that I'm gonna bring it up, but it's this one where, hold on one second. It's I was looking through the trending subjects and came across Army Hammer. I will not be looking again for the rest of the day. I don't know if that is that the tweet.
I mean, I like that.
Again,
I like that very much. I think she's really hilarious there.
I mean, I think that's really fun. I did a thing today, earlier in the day. We did a show where we had people come up with cannibalized titles of his movies,
Oh,
right?
that's
So
great.
it's like, so it was a lot of you know like the man from Hunger, or the neck work, or like these are like cannibal titles for all of his
Mm-hmm.
films, like
Escargot me by your name.
yes, there you go. uh,
Yeah, I mean that's like I guess I have an Army Hammer tweet in here in my
do you?
drafts,
Okay,
and it's not good.
okay,
And I feel like I read one that I loved, which was by one of my favorite tweeters on here and favorite people in the world, Paul Rust. He had
okay,
a really great Army Hammer tweet.
okay,
What I have here is very, very bad, and it's
okay.
just arm and bang her.
Oof.
Tough stuff.
Tough stuff. That's tough stuff. I mean, this is some people are saying like, by the way, can we joke about this? I think there's something about this.
I mean, I haven't got
that tweet. That reaction. The reaction to this tweet is hilarious. But
I mean,
here's
I'm
what I
not
think.
afraid. I'm not afraid to let everybody behind the curtain to say that. That's why it's in
We
my
gotta.
drafts. Yeah,
By the
that's
way,
why
we
it's in
gotta
my
get. We
draft.
gotta. We're talking
I
about
don't.
here.
I don't know how that will end up. You put it in as Army Banger, we might end up with something that goes viral like Die Easy.
Right. I guess my thought is, and this is, and then we'll just address it to be fair and kind, which is, it feels to me like this is not real. It feels to me like
Mm-hmm.
this is now something that is, because I believe the first person who leaked it, like has admitted that it's kind of false. I just feel like there's something about it that's weird. Now, if it's just like kink stuff and it's kink shaming, that's a whole different thing. It's not real. I don't feel like it's actually real. Do you think it's actually real?
I think it is real. I think it is real, but I think again, like King Shane, like I haven't gone in deep on it because also
Yeah.
to agree with Dionne Warwick, I don't really care that much. But
Yeah.
I I think that it's probably real in the sense that he probably did say some stuff like that. But I don't know because I haven't read this stuff. Like, is there any consent issues? Are there age
Right.
issues? Is yeah, like I want to know that because if they're not and he's just like a freak who is bad at dirty talk, like
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Okay, so this is the
Whatever.
whole idea. Like somebody said this the whole thing, and we're opening up a whole can of worms here. But they're like that, like they like this person who released the original stuff said, "I made it all up. I found somebody who sounded like him." But maybe I'm wrong. This has been a hard thing to kind of get to the bottom of, in my
And it's
opinion. I've been like,
certainly funnier. It's certainly funnier. And like, if I'm Army Hammer, because there's no like real illicit behavior, his ex said that he was abusive.
yeah.
That's tough. But until there's like illicit behavior, it's like, um, all right, I'm a cannibal. I don't know. It's tough. It's a gray area, which is going to make the jokes not as funny,
Well, I think
unfortunately.
just even as we're talking about it here, seeing the reaction in this chat where it's like you don't want to come out on the side of like if people were hurt or obviously all this this is a tricky thing, right? Because it's sort of
Yeah.
so we want to be at least aware of that.
I mean,
But
maybe
man,
it's this. Maybe the Army Hammer tweet is this.
mhm.
This is the best thing to ever happen to Army Hammer's career. Maybe it's that, right? Like, this scandal is the best Army Hammer movie I've ever seen.
This has more drama than The Social Network.
Yeah,
I mean, but
or than his
I will
performance in
in
The Social Network.
I mean, yeah, there was something about it when I first heard it. I was like, "Oof, that is rough." And then as I read it, I was like, "This seems too crazy." I'm in a weird zone about it because I really can't figure it out. And as people in the chat,
Well,
are really,
the Shia LaBeouf stuff,
yeah,
canceled to me, right? Like, I
yeah,
read
oh,
that and I was
absolutely,
like, canceled, right?
yes,
I haven't. Maybe it's my own male blind spot, but in the
Mhm.
stuff I've read about Army Hammer, I wasn't like canceled. I was like, oof, that dude's fucked up.
Yeah,
Right?
like
Like, I
it
didn't go
seems
like
like, yeah,
oof, like scary man. But maybe I'm a man. So I would never, maybe I don't have that, maybe that's not naturally the way my mind's gonna go.
yeah. All
Uh
right. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm like, like I think the jury is clearly here. Reading all these comments, the jury is out on the thing because I think it's like if it's a joke, it's hilarious. You can have fun with it. If it's real, then you have to like look at everything else. So all right. So people are saying we got to read his thing that his ex wrote. So maybe, or people are saying it goes back and forth. People are like, read the thing his ex wrote. Somebody else is like, it's a gerbil thing like Richard Gere. It really is, it's
Well, like, see,
really kind
Richard
of,
Gere, like the gerbil thing with Richard Gere is an interesting thing, right? Because like that was a huge story when we were kids.
yeah,
That now would be nothing. Now it's like
of
people would
course.
be
Yeah.
like, whatever, right? But Richard Gere never paid it any mind. So it became
Yeah.
like a funny thing about Richard
Right.
Gere
Yeah.
because
And it
there
just
was
becomes,
never like an article in the Post about a woman who was like, he forced me to stick a gerbil up there. Like, we never got
right.
that,
It
you
seems
know?
so outlandish. It was like, how big was this tubing? What was the
Yeah, it
situation?
was
Like
crazy.
it was a real, like a thinker, yes. So yeah. So I guess what we're saying is hold the tweet. Maybe we should hold the tweet.
I will
Hold
also
the,
say that I really
yeah.
appreciate our audience that
Yes.
we can come on here and talk like this and say we don't know where we stand with these jokes, and
Right.
they're not mad at us.
No, they're not judging because we're not going we're having a conversation with them. We're talking about it. We're saying, hey, like we're not up here just going, yeah. We're dealing with it.
Yeah, which I think is kind of nice,
Yeah.
So I would say thank you for that.
I would agree. I mean, maybe then too it's based on this, instead of ending on an army tweet, maybe should we look at one final tweet from our Discord just to see if there's anything else
Yeah,
here that
let's
we can
end on
kind
a
of get into
positive note.
a
I
positive
don't
note.
think anyone wanted the Army Hammer situation to go in that direction.
No, I think it was yeah, it was we really we hit a moment. All right, here we go. I'm gonna pull this up, get this all here, make sure this is gonna work for us. Um, all right. I think this is a good one to play with. It
Okay.
is all right, simply this. Um, There's a bunch of punchlines for that, but I chose this one. I have a swimmer's body, more like a floating corpse. So
I love it. I
yeah,
love. I mean, I could see it's a joke. I could see myself writing.
I think the idea is like some people have swimmer's bodies. I have a floating corpse body.
Yes,
Or a bloated
or like, I mean, there is. This is the kind of tweet also where like you might want to put an old school like Rodney Dangerfield vibe on it, where it's just like
right.
swimmer's body, more like floating corpse.
Like the, I mean, we really are okay. Let's maybe end on this one. How about this? This is one that maybe is no more. Somebody's saying beach whale. There's a lot of different things. This is a good one.
Has the chat turned on me yet?
No, they're actually all on board here. Only one person left. My swim coach told me I have a drowner's body. That works. I think that's great. And then this is one. This then may be a fun one to end on here. Right here, which is we all know the Scarecrow got a brain, but did he ever get a head? Well, again, maybe.
Well, you know what? You said it in a way that made it funnier.
Yeah. Oh, do you think when I said it, I was thinking like, did he get a head, like a head in the world?
I
or
think
like
the double entendre of it will make it funnier because you know what I mean? Like,
I like that. Yes. So someone's giving me a note saying, no, not get ahead. But I read it that way because I think it's a funnier joke to say like he got a brain, but did he ever get a head with like, did he use it for
with
something
the brain?
good?
Yes. I think that's funnier than the joke of the blowjob for the Tin Man. Like, I feel like I've heard that. And this joke is almost a play on people making the joke about head. It's like, but did he ever get a head in the world? I like that too. I think that's
I like that. All right. So all right. So people like mine. You like mine. I'll take that. It is punny. But that was pretty good. And you know what, Adam, what we forgot about this episode was to go over apologies. And I feel like,
oh my God. Well, you know what? I think our Army Hammer bit will lead us to doing apologies very soon.
Yeah, we have to get into there. We will get into
he's got an apology coming. Did he do an apology yet?
He just said these rumors are complete BS. That was pretty much it. And that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's it's
well, maybe when Army lets out.
Yeah, when Army lets out an apology, we can kind of do an apology episode because I think people liked it. I think people want to hear us break down apologies because I think that will be a fun way to kind of make the show continue on and do more. I mean, this has been great. The Discords have been great. Thank you for sending us your tweets and your drafts. As always, we'll be back again. We'll figure out another time and do it. This is
we'll figure out another time, and we will make sure that next time we do apologies.
Yes, we'll do apologies. Pally, great to see you. Thank you everybody for being in the chat. Such a fun time, and thank you for working through the Army stuff with us all. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.